All right. Hello. We're going to be doing some basic yoga, short sequence here, just basic yoga postures. We're going to start with some neck stretches. So sit comfortably. You can sit cross legs. You can sit like that too if that's comfortable. Yeah. Or legs underneath you. But we want to sit up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes and just center yourself. Maybe tune into your breath. Relax the shoulders. Let go of any expectations for your practice today. This week, I'm actually focusing on an attitude of gratitude, being thankful for what we do have instead of focusing on what we don't have. So we'll start with some easy neck stretches here. Draw your chin down towards your chest. Relax the shoulders a little bit more. Relax the jaw space between the teeth. And then bring the head back to center. And take your left ear towards your left shoulder, so we're tilting the head to the left. If you want to feel a little bit more intense stretch, walk your right fingertips out to the right. And then inhale, come back to center. Sit up nice and tall, reset. Maybe chin draws down just slightly. And then take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Make sure that right shoulder doesn't pop up. Keep the shoulder down. If we want to make it more intense, walk the left fingertips out to the left. And then we'll come back to center. Now take your head back, open your eyes. Take your head back, open your mouth. Take your head back a little bit more and then close your mouth. Big stretch in the front of the throat, the neck. And then come back to center. We're going to roll those shoulders. So shrug the shoulders up by the ears and then go back and down. Really get into the whole shoulder girdle. Alternate right and left. You want to try to maybe even move the rib cage here. You can reverse direction. You're just letting go. Most people say, oh, I carry all my tension in my shoulders. So we're just going to let that go. All right, sitting up nice and tall again. Let's come up and over onto all fours, hands and knees. Placing your wrist underneath your shoulders, knees underneath hips. If this bothers your wrist, you can go forward with the hands. You could also come into fist. You don't have to be on flat palms. You can have your toes tucked or the tops of your feet on the mat. But start your cat-cow. We inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, round. Close your eyes. And I like to go slower on this and actually feel what's going on in the spine, but you might like to go a little bit faster. That's okay, not really right or wrong, just different feeling. We're just creating that space along the spine in the front and the back. Good. And then we'll come to our neutral position. Make sure our hands are wide on our mat, pinky fingers almost to the edge for most of us. And then spreading those fingers evenly, tuck your toes. You want to pull the belly in and think about your hips and your belly, and both knees are going to lift at the same time as you push back to downward facing dog. Now, if downward facing dog is not an option for you, you can stay on all fours and do what we call bird dog, where you take one leg back and stretch the opposite arm forward. So that's always an option. Downward facing dog is not necessary. But if you're in downward facing dog, bend your right knee and let your left heel feel nice and heavy towards the mat, and feel that stretch down the back of your calf and Achilles. And then switch that out, bending left knee, stretching right heel down. Maybe right heel touches. Maybe your heel never touches. That's okay. And then stretch both legs straight. Stretch your hips high, your heels low. Really push through the strong arms. Now look between the hands, walk your feet up or your hands back to your feet, whatever makes more sense. You're in a forward fold here, shake your head yes and no, relax the head. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, Push from your hips down through your heels. Come all the way up to standing. Good. We're going to take candlestick posture. So feet together for more challenging. Feet apart, less challenging. And then bring your palms together, heart center. Relax your shoulders, chest is lifted. Now you're going to focus on your ankles and come up onto the big toe, or come up onto your toes. If you can come on just the big toe, that would be awesome. I would take your picture. But stretch up. Focus on those strong ankles. Good. Slowly release, heels down. Relax for a moment. Chest up, shoulders relaxed. Relax the jaw. Make sure you're breathing. When you hold the breath, you hijack the nervous system. So make sure you're breathing. Bring your palms back up. Heart center. If you want a little bit more challenging, bringing those feet together. Come up onto the toes. And if you're still not challenged enough, close your eyes. Good. Release, heels down, relax arms. Turn to face the front of your mat. And a sun salutation variation here with the lunge. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. Arch back, look up. And then exhale, bow forward. You can swan dive down or hands down the center. Bending your knees if you need to. Inhale, lengthen here, hands to the shins. Good. Exhale, left foot steps way back. Step way back. Now, hands frame the front foot, so maybe walk that front foot forward or your hands back. That's why it's important to take that big step back there. Now, chest pulls forward, look forward. Good. Keep the belly pulled in. Nice. Push off your back toes, step up to the front of your mat. Look up, lengthen. Good. Exhale, right foot steps back. Big step, as big of a step as you possibly can. Now, frame the front foot with your two hands. Chest pulls forward. Keep energizing the back leg. Lift that back leg. Yeah, from the inner thigh. Yes, good. Push off the back toes. Step up to the front of your mat. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, bow forward. This time, roll all the way up to standing. Good. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And let's go again. Different variation. Inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot way back. Good. Place your left knee on the mat. Nice. Hips are forward and down, so you don't, the common thing I see here is people's hips try to stack over the knee. We want the hips forward and down. Keep your left hand down and lift your chest forward and roll open to the right. Yeah. Breathe. Good. Right hand comes back down. Lift your back knee. Press off the back toes. Step up. Lengthen on that inhale. Exhale, bow. Step back with your right foot. Big step back with that right foot. Challenge yourself. See how far you can go back. Good. Back knee down. Frame the front foot. Chest is forward. Right hand stays down. Open up. Left arm reaches. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Left hand comes down. Lift your back knee. Push off the back toes. Step up. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, bow. Come all the way to standing. You choose. You either roll up or you come up with a straight spine. Whatever feels best for your low back. Arms up overhead and then arms down by your side. Let's inhale, stretch up. Regular sun salutation, 8. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Now step back to plank pose. So plank pose. We want the feet about hip distance apart. We don't want saggy butts or saggy heads. We're going to pull the hips up. We're going to push the floor away from right underneath and behind your armpits. Now shift the weight way forward into the toes. Bring your knees down. And then bend your elbows and come all the way down. All the way down. Little baby cobra pose here. Squeeze your legs together. Lift up. Exhale for downward facing dog. Remember your option for downward facing dog. You can just be on the knees and do the bird dog. Let's look between the hands. Either step forward or walk your hands back to your feet. Lengthen. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, come to standing however you wish to come up there. Arms down by your side. relax. Good. Turn and face the camera. Step wide on your mat. Really wide. So if you're just starting a yoga practice, one thing that people are hesitant to do is take a wide stance. So really take that wide stance. And typically ankle underneath wrist, but you could go a little bit wider or a little bit more narrow. That's not set in stone. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Turn your right toes out to the right. Bend your right knee. We're coming into warrior two. Good. Now stretch the fingers down a little bit and then bring the arms up halfway. Yeah. Good. Now hips forward towards the camera, upper body back, arms back, chest is lifted. You're gazing down the right middle finger, but your ribs are going to rotate a little to the left. Yeah, breathe. You can always deepen this by bending your right knee a little deeper. We want to be mindful of the knee with placement of the knee over the ankle. Maybe it could be slightly forward, but we don't want it way past the toe. Good. Now, reach out over that right thigh. Place your right forearm on your right thigh. And then stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling and look up. Push your right thigh open with your right forearm. Breathe. Now, straighten that right leg. Come into a straight leg triangle pose. You might slide the hand down the shin. You might come to the floor. With the hand, you might hold the big toe, but you might also just have it on the inside of the knee. Now, bend your right knee, pull your belly in, inhale, come back up. Good, hands on the hips. Turn your right toes forward, and let's take a wide leg forward fold. So exhale, bow forward, turn the toes in a little bit there, Jen. Yeah, good, good. Now, bring your hands to the floor. So if you need to bend the knees here, bend the knees. But if you have the legs straight, start to push your hands into the mat. Push your hands into the mat and try to get your hips a little higher. Yes, breathe. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees a little bit, and we come all the way up. Go ahead and step your feet together, relax a little bit here before we go to the other side. So chest up, shoulders relaxed. And let's go again. Take your legs wide. So we start with warrior two. Hands on the hips, turn your left toes out. Bend your left knee. Now stretching fingertips down a little bit and then bringing the arms up. And why do I have you do that? That's to help keep it out of the neck and shoulders. That looks good. Hips forward, upper body back. Arms back, chest is lifted. Gazing down that left middle finger. Breathe, relax jaw, space between the teeth. Now reach out for side angle posture. Reach out over that left thigh, forearm to thigh. Right arm reaches towards the ceiling. And you're using your left forearm to push that left knee open. Breathe, stretch up, looking up. Nice. Now we straighten that left leg, come into our straight leg triangle pose. Open the chest, stretch up. Nice. Breathe. Relax the jaw, space between the teeth. Now look down, bend that left knee, strong belly. We come up, hands on the hips, turn your left toes forward. Take the hands behind the back, interlace your hands behind the back, arch open, inhale here. Exhale, bow forward. Come forward, hands away from the low back. Shifting the weight forward. So your hands are behind your back, but imagine that they're on the floor and you're pushing away the floor away like you did on the first one, and you get those hips a little higher. Yeah, breathe. Deep inhale. Maybe you go a little bit deeper on the exhale. Bend the knees a little bit if you need to. Inhale, come all the way back up. Step your feet together, relax. Shoulders relax. All right, taking tree pose, any variation of tree pose. So we can start with the right heel on the left ankle and keep your toe down. That's beautiful. Maybe you bring the foot to the calf, then the shin. Maybe you skip over the knee and bring it to the inner thigh. Maybe you bring it into half lotus. So bring it to the inside of the thigh or half lotus. Sometimes the material of your pants is the problem, okay? It might not be your hips, it might not be your foot, it might just be the clothes that you're wearing. So typically skin on skin works a little bit better. But find your tree pose. Chest is lifted, shoulders relax. Steady breath. Breathe. Good. Release, relax, switch it out. So we shake it out, you come to the other side. So remember, a lot of people will say, oh, the key to balance is core. Core helps you, but core does not balance you. Your foot balances you right here. But core muscles do help you obviously balance. But focus on that right foot. Let a little sway happen. Let your foot respond to the sway. Don't fight the pose. Chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed. And let's release. All right, shake it out. Turn to the front of your mat. Feet right underneath the hips, or feet are all the way together. You choose. Let's inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, bow forward, either swan dive, hands down the center. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Good. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to your plank pose. Shift your weight forward, lower your knees, come all the way down, chest, everything. Good. And then bring your arms down by your sides. Bring your forehead to the mat. Arms down by your side, palms are down. It's a variation of locust pose. So you can keep your hands down and press into the floor and just lift the chest here. But if you want to challenge yourself, you're going to lift anything and everything that will come up. So you inhale, lift the head, you can look up, you can bring your hands away from the floor, you can bring your legs away from the floor. Anything that will come up can come up, or you can keep your hands down. Good. Slowly release, relax. Stack your forearms underneath your forehead, rest your forehead, and then just shake your hips side to side. Govinda, Govinda. And then we'll do the other variation of this posture where we stretch the arms out wide. So forehead on the floor or chin on the floor, whatever feels best for your neck. Arms straight out like airplane wings. And again, lift up. Look up and come up. You can lift the legs, the arms, anything and everything that can come up. Chest up. Little sips of air, breathing. Slowly come down. Good. Stack your forearms underneath your forehead. Rock your hips side to side. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and push back to child's pose. So child's pose, the knees can be together or knees can be apart. Sit your hips back. Try to get your hips to touch your heels. Now, if that's not happening, don't worry about it, but that's eventually what we want in that direction. And your arms can be stretching forward. And your arms can be also back, hands by the feet. All right. Go ahead and come forward to all fours. So we're going to do a variation of side plank called Vashisthasana. And even if you don't want to learn this pose, just learn how to say it because it's like a lot of fun. Vashisthasana, right? It sounds like superstar, like Vashisthasana. All right. So this is going to be the one where we're going to roll open onto the left, take the right foot forward, and then you're going to straighten that left leg and come up onto the outside of the left leg and open up here. Yeah. Now you can always do side plank on the forearm. But the idea here is to lift the hips, lift the waist. Really lift the hips there, Jen. Lift your butt up even more. Lift up, lift up. Yeah. Good. Slowly come back down. Rest in child's pose. And if you want, you could squeeze your left wrist with your right hand. Just kind of squeeze and release, and that will get the circulation into that hand a little bit, that wrist a little bit more. All right, we're taking the second side now, Vashisthasana modification here. So come up onto all fours. So this time we'll be on the right hand and the right knee. So you roll open, you step your left foot forward. Now come onto the outside edge of that foot. Yeah, that's going to help you. And then lift your hips. Keep your left knee bent. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Keep lifting up from the waist. Yeah, that's where the strength, shoulders getting strong, core muscles working here. Make sure you're breathing. You can look up. Nice. And slowly relax. Take it into child's pose. Maybe roll the wrist. All right, we're going to do Vashisthasana, another set. Now, if that was a lot and a lot on the wrist, you can always take that variation again. But this time we're going to try to straighten both legs and stack the feet. There's a couple of ways to come into this. So you can come into it from down dog and shift forward almost to straight plank, arms in straight plank. Or you can just come into it from plank. So let's go ahead and come into downward facing dog. Now shift forward. Yeah, and then just roll open onto the left, outside of the left foot and the left hand. Try to stack your feet here or one foot in front of the other. Lift your hips. Lift up. Good. Push the floor away. Lift up. Nice. And release. Come down. Go ahead and take it to the other side. Roll open. Lift up. Again, you can do the variation with forearm down. You could do the variation with the top leg stepped in front. Lift up. Nice. Nice variations. Good. And release. Now, on all fours, instead of having your palms flat, turn your right hand over so that the back of your hand is on the mat. And then try to lift the pinky finger and then the ring finger and the middle finger and the pointer finger, maybe all of them. You're trying to maybe get that arm straight. Oh, that's a big stretch in that forearm and wrist. It's the opposite action of all of those Vashishthasanas. And then we'll switch that out. So back of the left hand comes down. And then pinky finger, kind of do a little dance with your fingers there. Good. And then sit back. If you can sit back on your heels in what we call Virasana, hero's pose here. This might not be available to you. You can always put a block or something underneath your hips, or you could sit with crossed legs. But we're just going to open up the left palm, take your right hand, make a little fist, and just kind of punch your left hand. Little punch. Little massage. It just gets that circulation in the hand. We'll switch it out. Little punch, punch. And then we shake. And let me see where we're going from here. Yeah. All right, come on to your belly, all the way down into your belly. All right. Prop yourself up on your left forearm so that your elbow is kind of underneath your shoulder. So pull the arm back a little bit. Yeah, prop yourself up. Yep. And then reach back with your right hand and grab the top of your right foot. Now, if you're at home and it's not happening, you could always use like a strap, or if you don't have that, you could grab an old necktie, a towel. Anything really works. You can be creative there. Try to press your right hip down. Big stretch in the quad. Now, if this bothers your low back, you can drop your head down. Now, without letting it snap, release that leg and pull your left leg in. And then pressing down into that left hip. If you need to drop the head, drop the head. So on the right side, I'm fine. On the left side, I always have to drop the head. And without letting it snap, release, relax. This time, turn your head to the right, arms down by your side, and just relax. Try to breathe into the back of your rib cage. Most people, when we think about the lungs, they think about the upper chest, but really most of the lung is in the back body. So we want to breathe into the back of the rib cage, back of the lungs, all the way to the bottom. Now we'll try bow pose. So you can have the forehead on the mat or your chin on the mat, whatever feels best for your neck there. And then reach back for both feet. If you can't get both feet, you're going to do one at a time. And then try to bring the knees towards one another, and then slowly kick your feet into your hands. Another option is to come onto your back and do bridge pose. Lift up, kick back, kick up. Slowly release. Turn your head to the left. Relax. Palms are up. Big toes together, heels apart. And then sit back to child's pose. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Sit back, hips back to child's pose. Again, knees can be apart or together. Also, if you're at home and you have sensitive knees, you could always have a towel or a blanket or something and put that underneath your knees. I know that's a case for a lot of people. And then go ahead and sit up, and let's go ahead and face the camera for this next part. So we're going to set up for the twist. So left knee bends, and knee is on the floor. Step your right foot just at the top of your left knee. Just like we do in Bikram, yeah. Sit up nice and tall here. You can use this knee to help you sit up nice and tall. And then bring your right hand behind you and rotate, twist to the right. Now, those of you that it's available to you, you could always bring that right elbow or left elbow to the outside of the right knee. You could reach down, even bind that left hand and left knee. But no worries if you're just up here. The main thing is you want a straight spine and you're rotating to the right. Now we come back to center. We're going to take this right leg and just swing it back with the knee bent. Yep. And then lift up. Now we're twisting to the left. Just the opposite twist here to the left. And then we'll come back to center. Now we'll switch it out to the other side. So first, we bend that right knee. Knee is on the floor. Take your left foot, left heel just at the corner of your right knee. Sit up nice and tall here. You can hold on to the knee with both hands if you like, and then just rotate to the left. But if you bring your left hand behind you, it will help you. If you get it close to the body and push down, it will help you sit up nice and tall. You might get a bigger twist. And again, right elbow can come to the outside of the knee if you want a little more, and you can reach down right hand to make that connection, right knee. And this is considered a closed twist. And then we do the open twist where we come back around to center. Just take that left leg, swing it back, keep it bent, nice and tall, and twist to the right. And then inhale, come back to center. And then straighten your legs out so that you come into a seated. So you guys can turn if you want on your mats, yeah, for Paschimottanasana. So you might do internal rotation here where you pull the meat off the sit bones. You sit up nice and tall, chest is lifted, and maybe come out for the big toes, maybe the shins, maybe the outside of the feet. You might have to bend the knees. You could place a towel underneath there, press the backs of the knees down. You might be here. This might be your forward fold. It should feel good here. It should feel not like a strain in the SI sacrum area, so it can be just here. Salvation swasti. Use your breath to go a little deeper. Good. Then inhale, come up. You're going to maybe scooch forward a little bit, come down onto your back for our legs up the wall. So legs up the wall. If you have something at home to place underneath your hips, you come down first, and then you, like bridge pose, you lift up and you slide something underneath your hips, and then you can just lift your legs straight up. You can hold on to the backs of your thighs. Your head is relaxed down. And this is a great opportunity to do some toe yoga. So just take your big toe. Let's take the right big toe away towards the ceiling and bring your other 4 toes toward your face. Try to spread. And then lift that big toe towards you and take your other 4 toes away. And then squeeze, release, release. And let's do left side. So left big toe goes away towards the ceiling. Other 4 toes come towards you. And then switch. Left big toe towards you. Other 4 toes away. And then squeeze, release. Roll the ankles. Try to go counterclockwise and clockwise. Get that ankle mobility. And then you can just close your eyes and relax there. Nice and slow, bend the knees, bring your feet back to the mat. Lift your hips up. If you have something underneath your hips, slide that out. And we'll set up for a little variation of fish pose. Any variation of fish pose here, even if you're at home and if you have some pillows and you want to just lay them on your back and lay over the pillows, that feels amazing. That's kind of a restorative fish pose. But we can come up onto the forearms, so sit up halfway. Your hands are underneath your butt, palms up or palms down, whatever feels best for your wrist. And then point your feet, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now you can just stay right here, maybe let the head go back a little bit. I'm not all that comfortable with my head just hanging there, so I would rather place a block there. But if you want to shift the weight back, and then the head might come to the mat, lift your chest. Good. Use your neck muscles, lift your head, slide your hands out from underneath you and lie down on your back. Hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Massage your kidneys, your adrenals. They're in the back body. Your adrenals sit right on top of your kidneys. Even if you don't know what they do for you, just know that they're super important and we want to give them a little love. And a nice, easy supine twist here. So arms out like airplane wings and just drop your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. So relaxing the low back, relaxing the hips, and relax that left shoulder. So the left shoulder might want to pop up a little bit. That's okay. Don't add stress in the shoulders at this point to try to keep it down. Sukino babantu loka samasta. Sukino babantu loka. Pull your belly in, bring your knees back to center, nice and controlled. Take your knees to the left, turn your head to the right. Relax that right shoulder, maybe turn your head to the right. I think I already said that, yeah? It's like, what did I say? Who are you people? What are we doing? So being grateful for what we do have instead of what we don't have. Thank you, God, for this body every day. Pull the belly in, bring your knees back to center. Good. Bring your feet to the mat, slide your heels out to the corners of your mat, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Make sure that you are nice and comfortable. Relax the jaw, space between the teeth. You might tuck the chin slightly just to get that length in the back of the neck. Allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth.